Namaste, yogis. Good Thursday morning to everybody. It's wonderful to be with you again. Let's do a little yoga together. Today our theme is listening. So I'm just seated in an easy position. I'm a little bit close to the camera, so maybe you don't see my legs, but it's just a folded, cross-legged position. Try to find a position that you're comfortable with, where you can have your back nice and straight. Send the shoulders back and down, away from your ears. Lengthen your neck long. Reach the top of your head up. Relax those arms and shoulders and close the eyes. Let's just breathe. Notice where the breath is hitting you. Maybe it's in your belly, maybe it's in your chest, maybe it's in your throat. Wherever it is, just notice for now. And begin to listen. Today's theme is listening. We're going to start with listening with our ears, and then we're going to transition to listening with the heart and listening to the heart. So right now, just listen with your ears, close the eyes, and just notice, what are you hearing? Begin to deepen your breath a little bit deeper. Let it fill the belly, fill the chest, fill the throat, even let it fill the sinuses, spaces inside your head, around your eyes, behind your cheeks, around your ears. And then when you exhale, just let it empty from the top, the head, the throat, the chest, and last the belly. Squeeze the belly in at the end of your exhalation. Imagine your belly button moving back towards your spine. Squeeze all the old air out, and then open the belly first. Let air rush in, and continue to listen, listening to whatever you hear. Good morning, Melinda. Good morning, yoga people. Wonderful to see you. Let's begin to turn the head left and right, as if you're just going to look over your left shoulder and then over your right shoulder. Feeling the neck begin to slowly stretch. Wake up. If anything feels uncomfortable during this entire next hour, please remember that you are in charge of what you decide to do. And my ideas are just ideas or suggestions. If something doesn't feel right to you, you certainly do not have to do it. You can modify it or just rest. Always listen to the wisdom of your body. Match your breathing to your movement as you're now moving the head left and right. And notice, with the eyes stay closed, you'll notice more of what you're hearing. Whatever you heard when your head was still, the sound changes as you turn your head. One ear hears more of it, and then the other ear catches a little bit of that sound. Let's just move the head back and forth and breathe, listening closely to how the sounds change as the head moves. Tune those ears to really hear all there is to hear. Awareness of the world around us through our senses. And then we'll come back and let the head come neutral, facing forward, and hands can come to prayer pose for a bit of just quiet reflection inward. And we push the hands up, lift up your heart, lift the top of the head, reach up and wiggle your fingers, reach as high as you can, wiggle the fingers. Take a big breath in, reach even higher, and then bring it back down into a prayer pose right in front of your heart with a little gratitude. Already feeling more connected, more vibrant, more alive. Let's scoot back and find a reclining position. We're going to lay down with the legs straight out, arms out to the side, palms are up. Continue to breathe deeply and fully into the belly, the chest, the throat, and the head. Exhale, head, throat, chest, and last the belly, squeeze it in. 2 more breaths like that, nice and slow. Remember, breath is your life force. Breathe with attention, breathe with intention, breathe with gratitude and fullness. And now we're going to bend the knees and bring the heels close to the hips. Arms are still out to the side, palms are up. Just breathe. Bring the left knee into the chest and put your hands on your knee or your shin. Give a little squeeze and release. Exhale as you squeeze in. Inhale as you let the air move in and the leg move away. And now let's keep the left hand on the left knee, and the right hand is going to reach for the heel and just bring the heel in close to the right hip. The left knee can move out towards the left shoulder a little bit. And squeeze it in, hug it in, exhale. Release and breathe in. Hug that leg in, just gently. Whatever feels good, it's a small movement like a sigh, nothing big. Release and breathe in. Squeeze it in, hold it in, hug it in, breathe out. And release. Place that foot back where it was. Let's try the other leg. Bring the knee in to the chest. Squeeze it in a couple of times and out. And now the right knee is in the right hand. The left hand reaches for the heel or the foot or the ankle. And allow the leg to sort of turn sideways so the knee comes to the shoulder and the heel comes to the left hip. Hug and release. Breathe in as you release. Exhale as you hug. And just let it be a gentle warming up, waking up kind of movement. And then place the foot back onto the ground. Let both knees drop to the left. Place your arms out to the side, palms are up. Release and relax. Let everything go. And then pick the knees up and drop them both to the right. Release and relax. Let everything go. Pick the knees up and bring both knees to your chest now. Arms around the knees. Squeeze it in. Give yourself a hug. And release. Exhale, hug. Inhale, release. Exhale, hug. Inhale, release. Exhale, hug. Hold it in. Hold, hold, hold. Release your back. Release your lower back. Release your hips. Keep holding the knees in with strong arms. And release. Hands on the knees. Open the knees wide. Release and relax. If this isn't your thing, you can just keep the knees in a neutral position. Hug and release a few more times. If you've got your knees wide, allow them to go as wide as they feel like they want to. Don't force anything. And then bring the knees back up to neutral. Let's rock a little bit left and right. And then we're going to bring the legs straight out, long, extended on the mat. Arms go overhead. Stretch and do a big inhalation like you just woke up from a delicious sleep. One of the best sleeps you've ever had. Stretch and enjoy it. And then release and relax. Allow your arms to be wherever feels most comfortable right now. Take a few nice, long, slow, deep breaths in and out. as we breathe, continue to listen. Listen to what you hear all around you. Try to constrict the back of your throat just a little bit and notice if you can hear your breath. This is called Ujjayi breathing, sometimes called ocean breathing, because it may sound a little bit to you like the ocean roaring in the distance as the waves roll in. Focus on your breath. Listen to yourself breathe. Right on. Very good. Bring up your left leg now and let it be straight up out of your hip socket like a lamppost. As straight as you can manage. Point and flex the toe. Point and flex. Maybe you hear a little bit of a cracking or popping sound, picking up the joint. That's normal. Again, good for listening. All right, bend the knee down and push it up. Point the toe at the top. Flex the ankle, bring it down. Push it up and point the toe at the top. Continue. Keep going. You start to feel those muscles actually working, even though this is the most gentle kind of movement you can do. When you repeat it with attention and intention, the muscles start to really work. All right, stretch the leg up. You can keep it bent a little bit if you want. Reach your arms, grab the calf or the knee, and slowly incline the leg a little bit towards your face and then back to vertical. We're just stretching our hamstring. Find a full range of motion. Whatever your range of motion is perfect. Don't judge yourself. Don't force anything beyond your limits. Any amount of movement is always blessed. We're going to hold the leg at a fairly extreme position, wherever that range of motion came as close to your face as it can. And just hold right there. Try to relax your mind. Return to listening. And then slowly you may notice that the leg releases and you can bring it a little closer to your face. Just gently urge a little more stretch from the hamstring and hip. Release the hip. Relax the leg. Bring it just a little closer to the face. Hold and breathe. And listen. Release the leg and let it slowly drop down to the ground. And let's bring up the right leg. Let's let the arms rest. Right leg is straight up out of your hip socket like a lamppost. As straight as you can manage it. Hold it right there for a moment and breathe. Listen to your breath. And I think I'll put some music on so that we have something else to listen to for a little while. And let's point and flex the ankle. Point the toe like a ballerina. Flex the ankle and feel the energy rise from the back of the leg through the heel and up into the sky. Point and flex. Keep breathing. Keep listening. And now we're going to bend the knee. Flexing the ankle, bring the knee down. Then push it back up and give the toe a nice strong point like a ballerina. Down and up. Down and up. Down and up. Keep it going. Keep breathing. Keep listening. lots of breath now. And stretch the legs straight up. Reach with both hands. Grab the leg around the calf muscle or the knee and slowly, gently incline it and return it. Closer to the face and back towards vertical. Match your breathing to your movement. Exhale when the leg comes close. Inhale when it's straight up. Or just relax. If that suits you better for the moment. Find your range of motion. Discover where the limit to your range of motion is. And let's stay right at that limit for a moment as we breathe and relax and listen. Relax the leg, try to relax the hip, and you may notice that it releases. After about 30 seconds, most muscles in a stretched position will give you just a little more, and that little bit more is very healing to the muscles. So stretch and breathe and be gentle. Find your most extreme expression of this stretch. Stay there and breathe. Release the leg. Let it slowly drop down to the ground. Reach the arms overhead and stretch like you just woke up from the most wonderful sleep ever. Whew. All right, the left leg is going to come up again. It's going to be a bent leg. We're going to hold it in our arms like a baby. So put the knee in the crook of your elbow if you can. And reach your right hand towards your left foot. Let the leg stretch way, the knee goes way out to the side. It feels a little bit like you're holding a baby in your arms. Let's rock the baby. And now we're going to take that knee in your right hand and bring it across the body. Roll up onto the right side of your hip. Bringing the knee to the ground or close to it. If you need a pillow to support that knee, you can put a pillow underneath the knee. Try to get that left shoulder to reach back to the ground. It may not be on the ground, but it's trying to reach back. Extend your left arm out, palms are up. Extend your right arm out, palms up. And now we relax. Relax everything 100%. If this isn't perfectly comfortable for you for whatever reason, make an adjustment. Maybe your arm needs to come in or go farther out. Maybe your head needs to turn one way or the other. Find your most relaxed version of this position and let everything go. And continue to listen and breathe. Relax everything 100%. Don't let your mind jump from limb to limb, branch to branch, around the tree of all your to-do list. Return your focus to your breath and to listening. back onto your back and find yourself just relaxing in Savasana for a moment. Now we bring up the right leg, the knee is bent. Grab the knee in your right hand and reach for the foot in your left hand. Pull the leg closer to hold it as if it's a baby in your arms. We rock the baby back and forth. Bringing forth some nurturing instincts from your heart, from your soul, from the core of your being. Beautiful feeling of holding a child in your arms and rocking it. Everybody knows that, whether you're a mother, a father, or just a child yourself, you still recognize this feeling of nurturing. All right, let's bring the leg across the body now. The knee crosses. You roll up onto the left side of the hip. Knee comes to the ground or to a pillow. Allow yourself to really twist spinally. Open the arms out to the side as is most suited to giving you total comfort. Relax. Trust yourself enough to let go of everything and listen to your breath. Listen to the world around you. Adjustment you need to make yourself even more able to let go. Through the spine, through the hips, through the shoulders, through the torso, through the arms and legs, hands and feet. Release your jaw, release your facial muscles. Well, before we fall asleep, we better roll back onto our backs and do another good morning stretch. And then bend the knees. Place the feet on the ground. And let's tilt the pelvis. We're going to tilt the pelvis and push flat. Hey, everybody. Push flat the lower back down into the mat. Push it flat and tighten up the belly, tighten up the waist, tighten up the hips, tighten up the thighs, tighten up the kegel inside your groin. Relax your arms, relax your shoulders. And drop your glasses, there you go. Okay, relaxing everything in the upper body, pushing the lower back down flat, hard into the mat. Continue to breathe and continue to listen. Are you still pushing the lower back down into the mat, squeezing the belly in, squeeze the kegels in, squeeze the legs, squeeze the thighs, squeeze the hips, squeeze the buttocks, keep breathing. It's pretty intense, but you can do it. Just keep listening. Listen to what your heart is saying. Bring your attention inward. And your heart is probably saying, time to let go, so release and relax. Release and relax. Let's let the legs open into a diamond shape. Knees go apart. Feet, soles of the feet come together. And just take a moment to feel your toes against each other. The little toes pushing, the ring toes, middle toes, index toes, and big toes. And the heels. Push a little bit, make sure they match up nicely, and then release and relax. Open the knees outward. Bring the knees back up, place the feet flat on the ground, and let's do a bridge pose. Make sure your feet are where you want them in order to support the hips coming up. You may like them close, you may like them far, you may like them wide, you may like them narrow. Find that perfect spot for you, and we're going to lift the hips up off the mat. Make a bridge between your heels and your shoulders. If you choose to, you can walk your arms together under your upper back so the shoulders support the body rather than the back, and then interlock your fingers under your hips. If you do that, you'll find that you can push the hips up even higher. And as we go even higher, pushing the hips up into a nice little arch, we're going to inflate the belly big and round like a balloon and breathe in. And then blow it out. Breathe in, blow it out. In through the nose, blow it out through the lips. Keep it going. Strong breathing like a bellows. It's a lovely way to clear the lungs. You may find a little cough now and then. That's okay. Keep going. Okay, let your breathing relax and squeeze your hips together, squeeze your buttocks together, push the hips even higher. Release your hands and walk your hands out from the body and roll the body down onto the mat. Neck, upper back, mid-back, lower back, and hips. Once the hips are down, we're going to bring the knees to the chest, hands to the knees, and squeeze and release a few times. Just allow the back to turn the other way. It was arching, now we're going to curl it under and just enjoy that release of pressure that you may feel in your mid or lower back. Are you still listening? What do you hear? Should be at least 2 or 3 things. Some people can hear lots of things. They hear the dogs barking down the street, cars driving up and down on the street, hear birds singing, wind blowing. All right, let's take the knees away from the chest. Keep holding them in your hands and bring your head off the mat and rock from hips to shoulders, rolling like a rocking chair. Do it about 10 times. And eventually roll right up back to seated. How are you feeling? Are you listening to your heart yet? Focus inward. Let's listen to the heart. You may see some colors, you may see some patterns, closing the eyes, listening, feeling certain kinds of vibrations. The heart does not speak with words, and so you do not listen with your ears. Whatever your heart is saying to you right now, acknowledge it and tell it thank you. Accept it with gratitude. Hopefully it brings you peace, contentment, balance. We all need these things in this crazy world we're living in right now. But remember, love conquers fear every single time, if you let it. Alright, now we're going to drop the head and just round the back and let the body be soft and balanced. Drop the head as far down as it can go. Let the head be so heavy. As your head hangs forward, just begin to turn your head up and down like you're turning one ear towards the ceiling and one ear towards the ground. Almost like you're shaking your head no, but very, very slowly. Keeping the back rounded. Keeping the head hanging forward. Turning the head sideways so one ear reaches towards the ceiling, one ear reaches towards the ground. And then down, the nose points down, and we turn the other way. Let's go about 3 or 4 more times, very slowly as we breathe. Keeping the head hanging down, start to slowly straighten the back, stacking the vertebrae. Keep the head hanging down in front. And let's move the chin along the collarbone left and right. Back and forth, breathing as you move. Whatever speed you're moving your neck back and forth, your chin back and forth along your collarbone, right now, reduce that speed by half. And notice how suddenly you can actually feel every strand of muscle in the back of your neck, where it connects to the skull, where it reaches down to the shoulders or shoulder blades. If there's one particular place that's giving you a lot of tension or pain, I suggest you stop and stay there and let it relax and breathe. This is also a type of listening to what the body has to say to you. You don't want to ignore those little messages. Those of you who suffer with a little chronic pain, like I do, you may learn to listen to those pains and hear them with a different kind of ear. The tendency in our modern world is to just ignore it. Don't pay any attention to it. Keep going. You don't have time to listen to aches and pains. Keep going. And that's something that we learn in yoga, to be a little bit more wise and listen and acknowledge and accept that there's something that needs to be addressed. Give it some love. Stop in that spot that's talking to you right now. Relax. Relax your belly so the neck can really relax. And then continue to move left and right. Let's take the chin all the way to the right shoulder and lift the face up over that shoulder. And adjust your posture so your heart shines forward, your shoulders are back and down. You're looking over your right shoulder. And draw a little circle in the air with your nose, over the top to the back. So if you're at your right shoulder, you should be going clockwise. Start small, the size of a coin, maybe a quarter. And match your breathing to your movement. Breathing in as you move up and back, breathing out as you move down and forward. If you're comfortable and you want to, you can spiral your circle bigger and bigger. And then we come back in and drop the head forward. Come back to the center. Just take a moment to let your head hang forward. The back is straight. The belly is released. The head is heavy. Once again, we go left and right along the collarbone, very slow, very aware. And now we go to the left shoulder and scoop the neck up. So we lift the face, looking over the left shoulder. Take a minute to adjust your posture. Let your heart shine forward, shoulders back and down. Lift the heart. Lift your face, looking over the left shoulder. Begin to draw a circle with your nose in the air the size of a quarter, over the top to the back. If it's your left shoulder, you should be going counterclockwise or anti-clockwise. Over the top to the back, we breathe in, down and forward, we exhale. And if you're comfortable and you want to, you can make your circle larger. spiraling it out bigger and bigger. And then come back to the center. And bring your nose pointing forwards right at me, hands to heart center, reach it up, breathe in. Exhale, bring it down. Push it up, breathe in. Exhale, bring it down. Push it up, breathe in. Stretch the hands up now, really reach. And let's let the right hand drop down. Watch it as it drops. Let it rest next to the ground, next to your hip on the ground. Look at the lower hand and reach up the upper hand. Reach it as high as you possibly can, straight up, and breathe in. And then relax the shoulder back down into its shoulder socket, but keep the fingers reaching up. And we're going to very carefully, very, very, very carefully change our glance from looking at our lower hand to our upper hand. Hold and breathe and listen. Certain postures bring forth certain feelings within our body. Looking up at our reached hand makes you feel like hope, optimism. And now carefully cast your glance back down, your gaze back down at your lower hand. Hold and breathe. And this makes you feel perhaps a little humility, grounded. Let's take that lower hand and reach it up, slowly up. Look at it as it rises. Reach up with both hands, breathe in big. And now the other hand starts to drop down. Watch it drop all the way down to the floor next to your hip. Let it rest and look at it there. Reach the other hand up as high as you can. Stretch it as high as you can. Extreme stretch. Reach it up. Breathe in as much as you can. Inflate the lungs. Exhale. The shoulder can sink back down. And just rest for a moment as we get ready to carefully cast the gaze upward. Don't stress your neck out. Looking up at your upper hand. Breathe and listen. Like you're reaching for a star. And carefully cast your gaze downward at your lower hand. Stay here. Let's let that lower hand rise up. Watch it rise. Breathe in. Reach it up both hands tall. And bring it down as a prayer to your heart. Now we're going to round the back and just place the hands in the lap and rest for a moment. Round the back, drop the head, and be quiet. Listen to your heart. Listen with your heart. Thank you for that beautiful, beautiful feelings coming through the internet right to my heart, and I feel it, and I am so grateful. So we have about 20 minutes left. Let's do a little bit of cat and cow. Let's get up on the hands and knees. If your knees don't like being right on the ground, or even the yoga mat, which is a very thin mat, you can always put a pillow under your knees to protect or comfort them. If you don't need that, just go ahead and place those knees straight under your hips. And your wrists are right under your shoulders. Fingers are spread wide. And we're going to bring the face up and let the shoulders push away from the ears, pushing down into the earth with your fingertips and your wrist. Pushing down into the earth with all your arms. Lift the face, lift the tailbone, and let the middle of the back sink down. This is your cow pose, good for breathing. And then slowly arch the back up and drop the head, drop the tailbone. Keep pushing away with your arms and your fingertips and round the back up like a cat on Halloween. Wow. Arch it up. Sway it down again, back into cow. Breathe. And let's go to cat. Arch it up, drop the head. We're starting slow. If you're feeling good, you can move the speed up. You can go a little faster. It's very good to go slow because you really feel what the body is doing and you can feel every part of it. But it's nice to go fast too because then your energy is picked up. So whatever feels good to you right now is perfect. Listen to the body and respond in kind and in kindness. I just made that up. Right, let me scoot a little bit away from the camera and let's do a balance. So we're still in the table position and our hands are straight underneath shoulders, knees are underneath hips. Bring the right arm out and the left leg out, and I am touching the wall. There we go. Okay, now we're going to balance for 20 seconds. If you feel a little wobbly, you can always drop that big toe down. If you feel strong, you can lift the heel up a little higher than your hips. It's time to change sides. Keep breathing. Let's change sides again. Hands down, knees down. Switch over to right hand and left foot out. And switch sides again. Beautiful. Hands down, knees down. And I see. All right, let's try to thread the needle. So we're going to take the right hand behind the left wrist and just thread the needle straight through, bringing the shoulder down and the face down. This elbow on the left hand will be strong, right above the wrist. You can use the left hand to push a little bit against the floor, and you'll feel a connection behind the shoulder blade. Listen to your heart. Listen with your heart. And then push against the ground with the left hand to bring the body back up. Let's do a few cat and cows. And then get ready to thread the needle on the other side. I'm going to turn a little bit. Hopefully that's good. All right. Set yourself up properly, and the left hand now passes behind the right wrist. Bring it all the way through. Bring the shoulder down and the side of the face down. Keep your right elbow right over your wrist and push a little bit onto the floor with the right hand. You may feel a lovely connection in the right shoulder blade and under the right shoulder blade, where a lot of times we have knots that are sort of a source of chronic pain. Listen to your pain, listen to it, appreciate it. It's got something to say to you, don't ignore it. Pushing against the ground, we're going to bring ourselves back up and back to cat and cow a few times. let's try some strength work. Let's do a plank. You can do a high plank or a low plank, whichever you like. So if you want to do a high plank, you're up in the push-up position and you're on your toes and the body is taut, straight like a plank. If you don't feel strong enough for that, you can be on your forearms. But still, the body must be straight like a plank. So I'm going to do the high plank, and I'm just now getting into it. So if you've already been doing it, bravo. We're going to go for 20 seconds from now. If you need to come out of it, you certainly are welcome to come out of it, and just rest in the pose of a child, because that's where we're going next. Beautiful. Down on the knees and pose of a child. I'm going to bring my arms around to be palms up by the feet, because my wrists are talking to me a little bit after that plank. And now we come up into hero pose, where we're sitting on our heels. If you don't like this pose, you can always modify it with a pillow underneath here, between sort of your knees. Or you can even put a pillow in the front as well. So hero pose, we're just going to take a moment to sit like this. Arms are going to come out to the side and up, breathe in. Drop the right hand back behind your neck and bring the left hand down and behind your hips. So we're clasp the fingers together here. Now if you don't have, there's my strap. If you don't have the flexibility needed to do that, and don't feel bad because it is pretty difficult, you can take a belt or a strap or a piece of fabric and hang it from your top hand, and then your left hand comes around behind, reaching up as high as it can, grab the strap. The idea is to shine your heart forward, squeeze your shoulder blades back, lift your face, elongate your neck, and breathe. And listen to your heart. Okay, release. The top arm reaches up, the bottom arm reaches down, and out we go. We need to bring the strap to the top hand. The other hand is up now. Bring it down to the back of the neck and reach up with the other hand to get the hands as close together as you can. If you can clasp your fingers together, awesome. Do that. Sit calmly, breathe deeply, and listen with your heart to the body, to the universe, to your true inner self, to God. Reach the hand up, the top hand reaches up, the bottom hand unfolds, reaching down. Bring the arms out to the side and bring them forward. Put the strap down, and we're going to take the hands and cross at the elbows and wrap the forearms, reach the palms towards each other. Eagle hands, eagle arms. Reach it up and down. Reach it up, inhale, and down, exhale, and up, and down. Reach it up, and down. Unwrap. Reach it out to the side. Take a moment to breathe. Exhale. Now we go the other way. The elbows wrap the other way. Forearms wrap. Fingers come to the palms and up. Breathing in. Exhale down. Up, breathe in. Exhale down. Up, breathe in. Exhale down. Listen to your heart. Listen with your heart. Beautiful. Release. Stretch those arms way out. And now we're going to bring the hands behind the tailbone. Interlock your fingers like a Venus grip and straighten the arms. Again, if that's not good for you, you can use a belt or a strap or a piece of fabric because it's good to keep those arms straight. So if you can't get arms straight, otherwise use the belt. Squeeze your shoulder blades tightly behind you. Squeeze them at the top of their connection point. Squeeze them in the middle. Squeeze them at the base. Slide and squeeze up and down. And now you can either come out of this position, hold like this, or try bowing forward, bring the forehead to the ground, and the hands go way up overhead. If you like, you could even try to come up onto the top of the head, pick the hips off the heels, and let the hands swing down towards the ground. This is considered a beautiful pose because the head is lower than the heart. Exalting the heart and asking the mind to take a second seat. Let's slowly come back to hero pose. And if you don't like hero pose, you can sit in the easy pose. In fact, let's go ahead and sit in the easy pose for everybody. Cross-legged. Take a moment to just incorporate all the yoga that you've been doing, all the breathing, all the stretching, all the listening. Let it find its home inside of you. Peace and love, contentment, centeredness, balance. Let's return to that Ujjayi breath that we talked about earlier. Just a slight constriction in the throat allows you to hear your breath. Hear it moving in and out. And again, it does sound like a distant ocean with the roar of the waves rolling in and rolling out, which is a lovely thing to visualize while you're doing the Ujjayi breath, even if you don't think it sounds that much like the ocean, which I do. So we close the eyes, lift the heart, constrict the back of the throat just a little bit. And as you breathe in, you listen to your breath. We've got about 7 minutes left, so we're going to do a straddle stretch. That means the legs are going to go out, but as far as you're comfortable with. So you don't have to put them way out to the side in a big split position. Whatever's good for you is perfect. And just begin to move your hands towards your feet. One hand towards one ankle and then the other. Just gently let the body move left and right. Stretching your fingers towards your toes on one side and then the other. Let the head drop down on one shoulder and then the other, if that's comfortable for you. 3 more. 2 more. 1 more. And back to center. Now we sit tall, Pull the flesh away from the sitting bones if you'd like to do that, if that's something that helps you. And push against those sitting bones to lift through the body, lift through the top of the head, reach the hands straight up. Get as tall as you can, stretch your legs out and flex your ankles. You can't see my ankles, but they're flexed like that. Stretch it up, breathe in, sit on your sit bones, reach up. And slowly come down, arms come out just over your legs. You can relax the legs, relax the feet, and we reach for the air above the legs. Similar to what we were doing before, but we don't have the support of the hands resting on the legs now. We're reaching left and right to the air above your toes, as if there was a balloon tied to your toes and you just want to tap it. Tap it right, tap it left. And again, stretch it straight up, breathe in, reach up tall, 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 breathe in, stay here for a moment. And we can bring our hands down now and place them on the ground in front of the hips. Walk the fingers forward. Bring the face close down to the floor and push it back. Push it down and push it back. And this is a range of motion stretch, so whatever your range of motion is perfect. Don't judge yourself. Don't feel like you have to bring your face close to the floor. If that's not where you're going, that's fine. Any movement is always blessed. It's when we don't move at all, that's when we get ourselves in trouble. Find your range of motion, whatever it is, and work with it. Wherever you come down to the deepest part of this stretch, that's what we call the therapeutic edge. Find that edge and hold it, stay there. Try to relax the legs, try to relax the hips, relax your belly, relax your mind, listen with your heart. Push back, keep the hands right there. Let's look over the left shoulder and bring the right shoulder in front of the chest and push back. Left shoulder forward, look over your right shoulder and push back. We're going to do this about 5 more times. Keep breathing. Keep listening. And allow yourself to stretch on one side, stretch on the other, with a gentle, slight little twist to the spine. Push all the way back, arms out to the side. Bring one arm under and one arm over and twist down, stretching the ear towards the knee. Hold. And then rise up through the strength of your torso and swing those arms around beautifully, and down we go the other way. And up. Stretch. And up. Stretch. And up. And up. All the way up now. Both arms straight up. Reach. Slowly bring the prayer hands down. Hands to the floor in front of you. Take a step forward with the hands. Bend down, push back. Bend down, push back. Bend down and hold. Slowly push back. Walk the hands back. Wonderful stretch for the straddle, the inside of the legs, the hips. Beautiful. So that's our hour for yoga today. You can certainly keep going. We didn't do any standing postures again. So if you want to go ahead and do a warrior or a triangle or mountain or anything that you feel like doing, be sure you drink some water, eat some healthy food, some fruits and vegetables, and just keep thinking positive thoughts. Be hopeful, be happy, listen to music, do some art. connect with people through the internet or in person, but keeping social distance. And I am saying all my most heartfelt prayers just for you. So for now, I will say namaste.